California Driving School Instructor, License Practice Quiz, Part 2 of 4. Question. A course for professional driving instructors can only be given by an authorized school which has passed certain rigid standards. Options: true, false, and the answer is true. Reason: California DMV approves only certified schools meeting strict standards for instructor training. Question. Any vehicle used by a licensed driving school or by a driver training instructor shall have installed seatbelts. Options: true, false, and the answer is true. Reason: seatbelts are mandatory in instructional vehicles per California law. Question. Instruction permits are not required if teaching. Choose all that apply. Options: driver with temporary license only, coaching for written test, brush up for a holder of a license. And the answer is only coaching for written test, brush up for a holder of a license. Reason: permits are needed for behind-the-wheel training, not written coaching or licensed driver refreshers. Question. Anyone obtaining an instructor's license after July 1st, 1973, must have attended and completed a course for professional driving instructors, as approved by the California DMV. Options: true, false, and the answer is true. Reason: post-1973, California mandates a DMV-approved course for instructors. Question. The term of a temporary license for a driving instructor, given while the department validates the person meets the requirements, is options: 120 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and the answer is 60 days. Reason: California typically issues temporary instructor licenses for 60 days during validation. Question. An instructor must have their license, when teaching, on their immediate person. Options: true, false, and the answer is true. Reason: California requires driving instructors to carry their license while teaching. Question. Your instructor identification card comes to you by mail from the DMV. Options: true, false, and the answer is true. Reason: DMV typically mails instructor IDs. Question. Your driving instructor identification card shall be options: in your possession when accompanying a student, shown to each student upon entering a vehicle used for driving instruction, displayed in the vehicle used for driving instruction, posted in the established place of business of the employing driving school. And the answer is in your possession when accompanying a student. Reason: California requires instructors to have their ID on them during lessons. Question. Use of DMV's driving test route by commercial driving schools. Options: is prohibited, is permitted after or before daily business hours of the DMV office, may be granted by the local DMV office manager, is permitted, proving it does not interfere with tests being given by DMV. And the answer is permitted, proving it does not interfere with tests being given by DMV. Reason: California allows driving schools to use DMV routes as long as they don't disrupt official testing. Question. If an instructor wishes to transfer to another licensed driving school, he or she must submit to DMV an application and a fee of options: $15, $5, $10, $25, and the answer is $15. Reason: the standard fee for a driving instructor transfer in California is typically $15. Question. A driving instructor giving driver training in a vehicle owned by the driving school. Options: must wear a seatbelt, may elect not to wear a seatbelt, must wear a seatbelt if one is provided, may elect not to wear a seatbelt but must ensure that the student driver wears a seatbelt, and the answer is must wear a seatbelt. Reason: California law mandates seatbelts for all occupants, including instructors, with no exceptions. Question. A certificate of behind-the-wheel training issued by a licensed driving school must indicate satisfactory completion of at least how many hours of instruction? Options: 2, 4, 6, 8. And the answer is 6. Reason: California requires at least 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training for minors. Question. You are currently a licensed driving instructor working for ABC Driving School. You contact XYZ Driving School seeking additional part-time work. Options. You must obtain an additional license in order to work for both firms. This is not permitted by regulation. You must submit a simultaneous enrolling form to DMV in order to work for both firms. Your license to work for ABC Driving School also allows you to work for as many as 2 additional schools with no further requirements, provided you do not work more than 60 hours per week. And the answer is, you must submit a simultaneous enrolling form to DMV in order to work for both firms. Reason: California requires notification to DMV for instructors working at multiple schools, typically via a form. Question: all of the following subjects are required to be taught in a driver-instructor training course, except options: registration of vehicles, civil liability relating to owning and operating a motor vehicle, the driving privilege, licensing and controls, physical and mental capabilities of drivers. And the answer is registration of vehicles. Reason: registration isn't a core instructor training. Question: a driving instructor's license. Options expires every 3 years from the date of original application. Can be replaced without a fee if lost, stolen, or mutilated. Expires 1 year from the date of original issue, and every renewal thereafter. May be issued with the name of 2 or more schools on it, if the instructor is employed by more than 1 school. And the answer is, expires 1 year from the date of original issue, and every renewal thereafter. Reason: California driving instructor licenses renew annually. Question: DMV may require a re-examination of a driving instructor's qualification to give driving instruction. Options: when there is reasonable cause to question ability as a driving instructor, at any time. When she reaches age 65, and annually thereafter. When the driving instructor's personal liability and public damage insurance is cancelled, suspended, revoked, or terminated. And the answer is, when there is reasonable cause to question ability as a driving instructor. Reason: DMV re-examines based on specific concerns, not arbitrarily. Question: a special 30-day permit may be issued to a driving instructor applicant. This permit allows the instructor to provide behind-the-wheel training. Options pending satisfactory completion of the required course in the teaching of driver education and driver training, in order that she can accumulate the required 36 hours of experience. For up to 30 days pending investigation by DMV into the applicant's driving history, pending a satisfactory report of physical examination by a licensed physician. And the answer is, for up to 30 days pending investigation by DMV into the applicant's driving history. Reason: a temporary permit allows training while DMV verifies eligibility. Question: upon payment of the required fee, an application for a driving instructor's license must be completed within options 1 year, 30 days, 60 days, 120 days. And the answer is 1 year. Reason: DMV allows 12 months to complete a license application after fee payment. Question: before starting a behind-the-wheel training lesson, the instructor must ensure that options the student has a valid driver's license or instruction permit. The student has completed at least 8 hours of driver education. The student has completed a course in driver education. The student possesses a valid certificate of simultaneous enrollment. And the answer is, the student has a valid driver's license or instruction permit. Reason: a permit or license is the minimum requirement to begin training. Question: an instructor must notify DMV of a change of address within options 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days. And the answer is 10 days. Reason: California requires all licensed drivers, including instructors, to report address changes within 10 days. Question: what must driving schools do with the license of an instructor who terminates employment? Options: return it to DMV, retain the license for 1 year, destroy the license, give it to the instructor. And the answer is, return it to DMV. Reason: California requires schools to return terminated instructors' licenses to DMV. Question: suspension of a driver instructor's license for non-appearance for a re-examination required by DMV is 4 options until re-examination, 30 days, 30 days after notice is given, 90 days. And the answer is, until re-examination. Reason: suspension lasts until the instructor complies with the re-exam requirement. Question: a driving school or instructor may not solicit any students within how many feet of DMV? Options: 200, 300, 500. There is no limit. And the answer is 200. Reason: California prohibits solicitation within 200 feet of DMV offices. Driving schools cannot be located within 500 feet from DMV offices.